The channel catfish is the most fished catfish in the U.S. with over 8 million anglers targeting them per year. They range in color from olive, gray, brown, or light blue. They have a wide, flat head, slender, tapering body, forked tail, 8 long barbels, scaleless body, and the males are larger with a darker head. 2 spikes on the pectoral fins and 1 spike on the dorsal fin makes this a formidable foe that can stab its enemies and deliver pain that could last for days. They have very keen senses of taste and smell, and in fact have taste buds all over their bodies. Which means when you catch one and pick it up, it discovers what you taste like and how delicious you are, and if not eaten, may grow large enough to one day attack a swimmer. The average channel catfish weighs 2 to 7 pounds and measures 1 to 2 feet long. Catfish never stop growing, and one individual grew to 58 pounds and 4 feet 4 inches long. The channel cat lives mainly throughout the U.S. but was introduced to Indonesia for fishing purposes. Their diet consists of snails, insects, crayfish, algae, and plants. Flathead catfish and muskies are their only natural predators besides humans. Channel catfish mature when 12 inches long and can live 15 to 20 years. This is a video of me releasing a small channel cat. It takes time for a fish to recover after being caught, and the fish needs water pumped through its gills, which can be done by moving the catfish back and forth continuously in the water. It took several seconds after the video ended for the catfish to realize it was free and swim away. When handling channel cats, wear Kevlar gloves so their spikes and teeth cannot hurt you. People who go noodling have been known to disappear underwater, dragged to their death by a catfish. Any catfish over 20 pounds has the capability to drag someone underwater and drown them. The blue catfish is a large blue-gray catfish native to the Mississippi River Basin. They have a forked tail, smooth body, wide head, dorsal hump, and a rounded anal fin. Average blue catfish weigh 20 to 40 pounds and measure 25 to 40 inches long. The record, however, weighed 130 pounds and was 4 feet 9 inches long. Their only natural predators are humans. They eat frogs, crayfish, and any fish catchable. They mature when 24 inches long and live for 20 to 25 years. Blue catfish have large appetites and will attack and swallow things bigger than themselves, which usually results in their death. Blue catfish sometimes attack divers and try to rip off and swallow their limbs, but this is rare. There are 7 species of bullhead: snail, black, brown, yellow, white, flat, and spotted bullheads. The largest is a brown bullhead, which measures 12 to 18 inches and weighs 1 and 2 pounds. The record was 3 feet long and 6 pounds. It has a squatty appearance, lacks a forked tail, has a rounded anal fin, and a total of 3 spikes on its fins. They live in almost all bodies of water throughout the U.S., and one time, a young man and his friend were playing catch with the bullhead they caught, and the man pulled it to his chest to secure it. The fish's dorsal spine stabbed into the man's heart, killing him. Wear Kevlar gloves to protect yourselves from the bullhead spines, and never play catch with any animal.
It's feeding time for my 5 black bullhead catfish who live happy with bass, sunfish, and banded leporinus in my aquarium. Here is a 1-year-old bullhead catfish. I caught him at Spring Lake and now he's one of my pets. They grow up to a foot long and weigh about 1 to 2 pounds. Now I'm going to release this guy back into the bucket.
Now, on to the next of our captivating catfish, the Wells catfish. Now, if you know a lot about catfish, then you're thinking that the Wells catfish lives in Europe and not the US, and you're right. But listen to this account of a photo given to a man named Chester Moore. The photo shows 2 men holding up a mammoth catfish. The version I received said the fish had been caught at Lake Texoma. The only problem is that the fish is a Wells catfish. This particular species is native to Europe and not North America. The catfish was most likely someone's pet that was released because it grew too large. The Wells catfish can be yellow, brown, gray, or light green. It has an elongated body, a fan-like tail, and a massive head. They have poor eyesight but have good hearing and are not afraid of anything. Adult Wells catfish, on average, weigh 330 pounds and measure 9 feet long. The record was 600 pounds and 15 feet long. They live in Europe and now Texas. They live for 60 years and gain 10 plus pounds every year. Most catfish have huge wide mouths. Also, the majority have a head that's 1/4 of their body length. Most catfish that reach 6 feet or larger have a mouth at least 15 inches across that can open 8 inches up, which could easily fit around a human limb. Catfish at 9 feet would be large enough to swallow a human whole. 15-foot Wells catfish would have a 3-foot wide mouth that could open almost 2 feet up and would have a head 4 feet long. Wells catfish have been known to drag people by their legs underwater, and luckily most of the victims escaped. However, a human body was found inside a Wells catfish that was cut open. The flathead catfish is another large U.S. catfish. They are brown and yellow and have a flattened head, scaleless body, and 1 spike on each pectoral fin and 1 spike on its dorsal fin. Average flatheads weigh 100 pounds and measure 4 feet long. The record weighed 123 pounds and was 5 feet 3 inches long. They live throughout the U.S., mainly in Oklahoma, Missouri, and Kansas. They live 12 to 24 years. Flatheads have been known to drag people underwater while they were noodling. One account told of a flathead that tried to swallow a person's leg all the way up to the thigh. This is the skeleton of a flathead catfish that I found at East Lake. This one would have been 2.5 feet long, but all that was left when I found it was the head and half of the spine. You can see 2 pectoral fin spines and the dorsal fin spine. This catfish could have grown to over 5 feet long and dragged a swimmer to their death, but instead it was eaten by birds. The red-tailed catfish is another catfish from outside of North America. They live in the Amazon River and spread to the U.S. after people released their pet red tails because they grew too big, just like with the Wells catfish. This catfish is black, yellow, and white with a distinctive red tail and have 1 pair of barbels on the upper jaw and 2 pairs on the lower jaw. Average red tails are 4 feet long and 60 pounds, but the record was 6 feet and 123 pounds. And there's one more part of the red tail's distribution story. Pet owners who sell red tails sometimes actually say that the red-tailed catfish is a small catfish and only grows to a few inches long. People then buy the catfish, and it grows so big that it can't fit in its aquarium anymore, and the owner does not have enough money or want to buy a bigger aquarium, so they release them into a river or lake nearby. Red tails have a notorious reputation for swallowing prey that's too large for them. They also were responsible for dragging several people aboard the Sabro Santos to their doom when the boat sank. Mating season for catfish is May to July. Each catfish only has 1 mate during mating season. Males make a nest on the lake bottom, then females lay 3,000 to 100,000 eggs. Fertilization is a 4 to 6 hour process. The male guards the eggs from the female, who would eat them if she could. The baby catfish hatch after a week, and they leave the nest 1 week after hatching. They swim in schools, protected by their dad until they are 3 weeks old. With my new cast net, I've been able to catch a lot more fish over here. So I've caught this little bluegill and this little bluegill.
Okay, now I'm gonna release these fish. There goes one. There goes two. Okay, using my cast net, I've caught this largemouth bass. He has a lot of energy. I'm having to squeeze him pretty tight just so he doesn't get away. But this guy has a very large mouth that can swallow anything that will fit inside of it. He's really quite feisty, so I'm going to put him back in here and release him later. Okay, I finally untangled my net out of that tree onto those rocks. Now we're going to release warmouth, the largemouth bass. Okay, I got him. He might actually fall in the water before I get down there because he's floppy. Okay, here he goes. There he goes. Caught this little crayfish. Oh, he's pinching me. And it doesn't even hurt. He's so cute. He's the cutest. Ah, now it hurts. Now it hurts. But anyway, caught that cute little guy. Stop pinching me. There. Now I'll release him too. While I was at the pond, I found this painted turtle. I just went out fishing and I caught these three little guys. Got two bluegills. Okay sized. Nope. And a smallmouth bass. And now I'm going to release them.
While fishing for catfish, I caught this freshwater drum. They help control the invasive zebra mussel population, but not enough to eliminate it. They also eat fish, crayfish, and insects. Now I'm going to release this guy back into the lake. Here we go, a 1-pound channel cat. This one's at least 2 years old.
They grow very slowly, but they can grow a good 5 feet. And you can see all of his battle scars here. Whole bunch of scratches that have healed. Oh, he's slapping me. Violent little guy. See, and just look at those teeth. Just little pads in his mouth. We're gonna put him back in the bucket and release him later.
There are 3 things that can happen when hooking a catfish. 1. The hook is not in good enough and the catfish gets away. 2. The hook is embedded in the catfish's bony tooth pads and will not come out easily, usually causing blood to come out when removing it. Or 3. The catfish swallows the hook. Good luck getting that back, unless you want to reach down its throat and into its stomach to retrieve it.
Oh, poor guy.
I almost got it.
Okay, now I'm gonna release this guy, who I've named Speckles. That sound is him breathing in air.